So this is the XAUUSD analysis for Monday, the 11th of December. Now, let's just have a look what happened with prices in the run up to the 11th of December. So we had this continued sell-off of the XAUUSD. We came down into this level, the 1243. In around 1243, we did catch a bid. We retested at 1251. So in a bit of a range at the moment. I think we would need a couple of tests to just confirm the range. It is a pretty tight range considering it's gold now. The fact that we have had a big sell-off, I'll highlight this on the daily chart. We are likely to see a bounce, possibly ending up towards that 1258, possibly even going up to 1263, until we get the fundamental catalyst that we are due at later this week, which could potentially see more sell-side momentum in the market. Now, this move downwards over the past, the last week or so, could be the market pricing in a rate hike in regards to the US. So on a rate hike on Wednesday, we might actually see a bounce rather than a continuation of this sell-off. Now, going forward here on Monday, again, I'm expecting a possible counter trend move back up before we possibly retrace back down. Now, if we do have the counter trend move, I'm expecting we would possibly head up towards that 1258 to 1263 within that $5 zone. I'd expect prices to go before possibly turning around and retesting that 1251 and 1243. Now, we are below the dynamic levels of support and resistance, the 200 and 400 period moving average. So they don't actually come into focus. So I've pretty much mentioned all the levels here on the daily chart. Again, if we do see a breakout below 1243, I'll be looking in around this 1233, 1232, in around that region there to see if we do find support, below which we're looking at 1224. Now, let's just have a look at the daily chart. And over at the daily chart, I guess getting on here correct. So on this daily chart, we've had a high, we've had a lower high, and we've had a lower high here again. We had this move breaking below these where we had a double bottom there. So we've broken out to the downside. We've come down into support at 1243. We are seeing a bit of a bounce at the moment at that 1243. But this candle here, this last candle, so we've had a series of candles downwards. This large candle is ideally, I would have preferred for it to close at 1243 or so, or closer to 1243 than it did. But it's a large candle at the end of a big move, and usually when you see large candles at the end of series of candles, usually what we do see is a retracement or a reversal. And I think this candle somewhat qualifies. We've had a series of candles to the downside, large candle. Possibly we'll see a retracement or a possible reversal. I think a retracement is probably more likely than a reversal, but it depends how prices develop from here. So a retracement again up to that 1258 mark before a possible turnaround. Now, as we can see, I've mentioned levels on the charts. I mentioned the bottom, I mentioned the weak trend and the spill. Well, we see we've had, no, I shouldn't say a spill. We've had the market break down from out of this upwards channel that we were developing. So that's my justification for a possible. I've justified the reason I expect a counter trend bounce. Just trying to compose my thoughts here. So let's just have a look at the higher time frames. So if we head over to the weekly chart, yeah, here we go. So over at the weekly chart, you can see we've had our highs over here, we've had a low, we were in a bullish trend because we had a series of higher lows. We've not revisited our highs in 1357. Instead, we've broken down, had a bit of consolidation, we've broken down again. So potentially we have the 200 period moving average. Let's just see where that is. 200 period moving average is currently, let's just see where, just bear with me a second here. So we've got the 200 period moving average currently sitting at that 1232.50. So we did mention those levels before. So down to the weekly 200 period moving average, we might see a bit of a reaction if we do retrace all the way down there. After which, I suppose these most recent lows, we've got a low down here at 1214, which would come into focus after we break 1232. Below which, again, we'll be looking to see how we react in and around the 1205 level. But overall, as you can see, there is a degree of weakness. We were in a pretty strong uptrend, but we've had this consolidation. We've not had the move to retest at 1357. We've had a breakdown, so we do look poised for more continuation to the downside, possibly down to a major level where we'll see a possible bounce or a counter trend move. Let's just have a look at the monthly chart as well before wrapping up here on the XAUUSD. So if we head over to the monthly chart and let's grab the pen. So what we have seen is our lows over here. We posted a higher low, but we've had a high and now we've had a lower high. Now we've had our first clue was of this monthly candle after we went up to 3057. We've had 2 months of pretty much indecisiveness in the market. We've had a couple of pin bars, but now we've seen a breakdown in prices, and we do look poised for more downside momentum on XAUUSD. Also, we've got our highs over here. We've got a lower high as well. So let's just have a check here. I'm just gonna have a quick see where the lows are. 1204. Yep. So we've had this series of bearish candles now. We've had, I think it's possibly 3 or 4 bearish candles on here on this monthly chart. So we are seeing some continued weakness in the XAUUSD. We've not seen the range has not been similar to the range over here. We've had more of a range. These two indecisive candles here, these pin bars, the candle bodies indicating that there was a degree of indecisiveness as we've opened and closed pretty close. But the fact that we did see sell-offs after moves to the upside suggests that there were bears in the market, and we're now seeing the follow-through coming into the end of 2017. And with that said, I think that should wrap up everything in regards to the XAUUSD. Thanks for watching.